Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to take that stack of sources you have, articles, company statements, all of it, and turn it into, well, pure actionable intelligence.
Right. We don't just read the material to you. We're here to dig in and find the strategy, the real intent behind the words.
And today, we're focusing our lens on a really fascinating hyperlocal subject, red apple cleaning. It's a professional cleaning service based in Henderson, Nevada. So for you, the listener, here's the mission. We're going to take their public-facing identity, their About Us page, all their promises, and translate that marketing language into actual business insights.
We want to figure out what they really promise, and more importantly, how they claim they're going to deliver on it.
Exactly. How are they trying to stand out in what I imagine is a pretty competitive market out there in the desert?
It's really an exercise in decoding a brand. I mean, when any locally owned company says they're all about quality, reliability, customer satisfaction, we have to ask what those buzzwords actually mean for them.
What do they have to do to really own the Henderson area?
Right.
Okay, so before we get into the strategic core of it, let's just lay out the basics.
Sure.
If you're a potential customer in that area, their main number is 702-268-9941. They're very clearly positioning themselves as the go-to for Henderson and the communities right around it.
But here's something interesting right away. While the focus is totally on Henderson, the source material explicitly mentions commercial cleaning in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So that tells me their ambition isn't just residential. It's not strictly, the local neighborhood. They're signaling they have the capacity for the bigger Las Vegas commercial market.
That's a great catch. That little detail suggests a scalability. It suggests they're not just a couple of people with a van. They've got growth already baked into their model.
Right.
Okay, so let's unpack that operational footprint a little more.
Yeah.
Who is Red Apple Cleaning on the ground?
Well, fundamentally, they're locally owned and operated, and they say they were established specifically for the growing demand for cleaning services in Henderson.
And when you're in a place like Henderson, which is expanding so fast, being local is a huge advantage. It immediately builds a certain level of trust.
It does. It suggests you understand the community.
So what services are they actually offering? It looks like they're trying to be the one-stop shop.
Exactly. You've got the bread and butter, which is the routine house cleaning. That's your recurring revenue, your long-term client relationships. But then they also get into the more premium stuff.
Like thorough deep cleaning. That's a much bigger job, often a one-time thing that needs more labor, more specialized gear.
And don't overlook the move-in and move-out cleaning.
Ah, that's a strategically critical one.
It is. It's high pressure, usually high margin, and it's tied directly to real estate deadlines. If you can nail that service, realtors and property managers start talking about you.
Your reputation can spread like wildfire in those circles. And that requires a whole different level of flexibility, right? You can't just schedule it for every Tuesday morning.
Right. No, you need a crew ready to go on very short notice. And again, you see that dual focus. They do residential, but they also explicitly call out office cleaning. They want those stable commercial accounts.
So this all leads back to their core promise, which has to be about their staff.
Right. The sources make a point to say their team is made up of highly trained and experienced cleaning professionals, and that they're committed to, quote, meticulous attention to detail.
Okay, hang on. I want to push back on that a bit. Every single cleaning company on the planet says their people are trained and experienced. How do we know this isn't just, marketing fluff?
That's a fair question. And the difference, I think, has to be about having a repeatable system. Highly trained in this industry doesn't mean a college degree. It means they have a standardized process that everyone follows every time.
So they're trying to decommoditize their labor.
Precisely. They're saying we don't just hire people, we invest in a methodology. So the service you get is consistent no matter which team member shows up.
So that meticulous attention to detail is really a promise of consistency. The clean you get in January is the same quality you get in June. That's how you build trust, especially when you're letting people into your home.
That's it. Consistency is the product in a service business. If they can deliver on that, they've got a real differentiator.
Okay, so we have the practical stuff, the who and the what. Let's pivot to the aspirational side. We need to look at their vision, the big dream, versus their mission, which is the actual action plan. Why do they exist beyond just cleaning things?
This is where you see the scale of their ambition. Their vision is to become the leading cleaning service provider in Henderson, NV, and beyond.
And beyond. That's a big statement. They're not just trying to compete. They want to set the standard.
They do. They talk about elevating the standard of cleanliness and inspiring healthier, happier communities. It's not just about a clean house. It's about linking their work to a bigger idea of wellness.
And they mentioned sustainability, which is a huge draw for a certain type of modern consumer.
It's very smart strategically. And this one line really stood out to me. They want to transform the way people think about professional cleaning services.
That's the kind of language you expect from a Silicon Valley startup, not a local cleaning service. It shows a really serious ambition.
It does. But, okay, if that's the big why, the mission has to be the practical how.
Like the action plan.
And they break it down into two main pillars. First, it's all about the client. They want to make cleaning effortless for clients.
Effortless. In a place like the Las Vegas area where everyone is busy, that word is gold. It means you're not just selling a clean floor, you're selling reclaimed time and reduced stress.
You're selling convenience. You're removing all the friction from booking, scheduling, the whole process.
And the second pillar.
The second pillar grounds that convenience and responsibility. It's about maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and eco-friendliness. So it's easy, but it's also responsible.
And they wrap it all up with a promise of flexibility. They say their services are reliable, flexible, and tailored. Ultimately, they're selling you the ability to enjoy more time and peace of mind.
That's the real product, peace of mind.
Okay, so we've seen the vision and mission, but lots of companies say they're reliable and flexible. Let's really get into the weeds on the specific things Red Apple claims sets them apart.
This is the core of the analysis, right? What are the concrete claims?
Well, they start by moving past just words. They talk about combining advanced cleaning techniques and cutting-edge tools.
Let's drill down on that. What even is an advanced cleaning technique for a local company? I mean, it's a bit of a question mark.
It is, but I think the claim itself does two things for the customer. First, it signals they're investing in good equipment, not just using old mops. And second, it reinforces that training idea we talked about. They're promising their methods are just better, more efficient.
And that leads to maybe their strongest differentiator, the eco-friendly focus. They don't just say they're green, they make a very specific three-part promise.
Right. Their products are safe for your family, your pets, and the environment.
That is an incredibly powerful trifecta. For a family in Henderson, that addresses the three biggest anxieties about hiring a cleaner. Are the chemicals safe for my kids? For my dog? Am I hurting the planet?
And they just neutralize all three of those fears in one sentence.
It's a huge competitive advantage. When you're comparing them to another service that just says they use standard products, the choice for many people becomes obvious.
It turns a preference into a non-negotiable, and then they lean into their identity as a local company.
Yes, they claim to understand the unique needs of Henderson residents and businesses.
And in the Vegas Valley, that's not just fluff. That means something specific.
Absolutely. You're dealing with what? Constant desert dust, hard water issues. A local company is signaling they know how to fight those specific regional problems in a way a national chain might not.
It implies their advanced techniques are already customized for Henderson. That's a subtle but really strong selling point.
And then they bring it all together. They say they stand out because of their attention to detail, but then they pair that with affordable pricing and consistent results.
Okay, that's the key tension, isn't it? If you're using premium, eco-friendly products and advanced tools, how are you also affordable?
The only way that works is through efficiency. Their training and their systems must be so good that they can do a better job in less time, which keeps the labor cost down.
They're selling optimized time management.
They are. And they close by framing the whole thing as a partnership, not just a transaction. They want long-lasting relationships, which means they're focused on retention, not just quick sales.
So after this whole deep dive, what's the ultimate takeaway for you, the listener, about Red Apple Cleaning's identity?
I think it boils down to this. They've built a strategy around de-risking the purchase for the customer. They promise quality through their training, they promise safety through their eco-friendly guarantee, and they promise a better experience through their local expertise.
They very clearly laid out their ambition to be the gold standard in their market. And, just as a reminder, if you wanted to test that for yourself, they offer a free consultation. The number again is 702-268-9941.
Their entire value proposition is that they give you back your time. They handle a major source of domestic stress for you.
Which, brings us to our final provocative thought for you to think about. Red Apple has framed their service around innovation, excellence, and a commitment to the environment. It applies a new, higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is this. If the industry really does move in this direction, will clients start seeing services that don't offer these eco-friendly advanced methods as, well, substandard? Or will the extra cost that's implied here always keep reclaimed time as a luxury product instead of the baseline expectation?
That's a fascinating question. It really defines the future of competition in the whole service industry. Something for you to definitely consider.
And that's all the time we have for this deep dive. We hope you feel fully briefed and ready to analyze the next mission statement that comes across your desk. We'll catch you on the next one.